Now this effect is called the clone effect, and it's simple but extremely satisfying. Let me tell you how to do it. Welcome back to Ryan Reacts, the show in which I, Ryan, try and break down how 3 absolutely fantastic videos were made in an attempt to help you and myself become a more inspired and better editor / content creator. I am Ryan, agency owner, content creator, and editor, which means I deal with content every fucking day. And in order to keep myself motivated, learning more, I created this show in which I try and break down for you guys how the best creators are making their magic. Now, people, I am human, which means I make mistakes. So before you guys come at me in the comments if I got something wrong,
I'm human, just accept it. It is what it is.
And with that being said, let's dive into the first reel.
Tell him you're...
I've been going through something. 1,855 days.
Whoa, started to feel like it's only one answer to everything. I don't know where it is.
Fucking sick! Man, I'm happy I'm back with this stuff. This shit gets me so hyped, gets me so inspired to like go out there and create my own stuff. I think before I start, main thing that stood out in this one by far is sound effects and the importance of it, how it pushes you through this video. The switch in music pace, fantastic. It's like 23 seconds and a good reminder that you don't need long to make an impact. First of all, this shot. Freaking crazy. So, how has he done this? First, I imagine he will have had the main shot very well lit on a black background, then remove the saturation. That's the first shot, right? Then we've got 4 different shots of his face, probably saying the lyrics. That is then basically cropped out, or using an opacity filter, he's created a little mask around the key elements of his face that say the words, and has a feather quite strongly on the mask in order to make the transition of the mask quite smooth. So it's not like a hard cut line here whereby you very clearly see that he's cut it out, but the feather allows for it to smoothly run over in one another. And because they say the words, it highlights the message, I suppose. And then of course the fact that the text is in red, fantastic coloring.
Tell him you're...
I also love this like red on gray and white background. It's just the best. So here, I covered this last week, but in case you didn't watch and you are new here, this is called the clone effect. Now, in essence, what you need, and we mapped this out last week, is you need a blank background. So for example purposes, this is what you need first, right? Then you're gonna take 4 different shots. In this case, 1 at the desk, like this. Then there's 1 standing next to you, 1 different shot. So you film this for about 5 seconds. Note, be sure to lock the exposure, because otherwise you're gonna have a difference in coloring and shadows. This will make your life a lot easier. And focus. So then you're gonna take 4 different shots, 1 like this, 1 standing here, 1 sitting in the back, like here. I don't know, whatever the fuck you wanna do, right? And then you're going to use a tool that I personally use, which is Runway ML. You rotoscope yourself out. Now you can do this in After Effects as well. I just personally hate After Effects. And so I use Runway, rotoscope myself out, put it on a green screen, drag it back onto the blank canvas board that we had. And then in his case, he's then gone and nested everything together and decreased the saturation. That's how you get this effect. So this, I think, is just literally looped. So the same frame of like the motion, getting the best segment of when this happens and just repeating it, right? That's what's gonna create it. And obviously the thing that sells it is that the underlying track from Kendrick has this clock effect, and that really sells this home. It's the sound effect underneath it. It's not necessarily what he's actually doing. I also think this is filmed on a fisheye lens, but I could be wrong.
Been going through something.
Now this is the creme de la creme of shots. This shot is so fucking sick. Let me explain how he's done it. And to be fair, I kind of cheated on this one because I saw a video of his behind the scenes and kind of pieced it together. You are going to need to sit in front of a white wall, ideally. If the camera is there, in this case, the light is going to shine this way into the camera. And because of the overexposure of the light, on the camera, it's gonna create a silhouette shadow around you. Now, what he has done to really sell the effect is he has an RGB light, I think they're called. I'll try add in an Amazon link or find an example for you guys, which can change color. So you have the white first here, as we see. Then in addition, you have from behind the camera another spotlight on the wall, creating the white outline. And then
Finally.
there is a third spotlight, which is kind of here pointing back towards me again. Now that one is the red one that we see switch in a second. So he then switches off the main white spotlight and then has the red spotlight now shining here and moves slightly back to allow the red glow to come through. That is the basic shot, but then on top, at the end, adds in the brain, which is probably just an image in Canva, for example, like an image of a brain, which he's then, through means of like saturation, intensified the glow of it. But it's just an image which he's very, very well positioned in such a way within the head so that it like moves with him.
1,850.
This was also a crazy shot. I genuinely am just making a guess here as to how he did this. So I think it is 3 different shots, all shot at a very high shutter speed to create the like blur and then fused together in order to create this like crazy effect.
55 days.
This is again a very simple effect, but extremely effective. So you obviously have the camera set up here, a very, very wide lens, as we can see. Again, I think it's the fisheye lens that he's brought in. And then you throw a piece of paper into your bin, just the normal way. And then in post, you reverse the shot. And you right click, you go to speed, and then there is a button which says reverse speed. You click that, use optical flow, and that will smoothen out the transition in reverse.
Feel like it's only one answer to everything. I don't know where it is.
This is done through means of a macro lens attached on a rig focused on the pen. And then every time be very careful to make sure that the movement is always the same as the background changes. So that's important, right? Because otherwise this effect won't be nearly as good if you're like doing a few different movements. And then when the pacing of the video changes, when he's chosen to bring back in the color, so far it's been fast, 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 and now we're bringing in the color, we're slowing things down, and somehow it also feels slower automatically. Until we bring in the drum and bass. This is important. I think it's something what most people don't think about in videos. They either have super high pace all the time or super low pace or mid, maybe even consistent pace. And the thing is, the thing that I think truly makes a good video is when you switch with pace a lot. So we had a segment of very high, then we have very slow, then we had very high again, and now we have a piano segment whereby it's really slow before bringing it back in really fast. So they contradict each other, right? So right now, if we imagine it as a curve, we're in the base of that very slow music, and we're going back up to really high music. Fast clips, fast clips. So in that last segment, it's just extremely well shot clips. I don't think there is much strategicness to it. The guy knows how to film. He's very smart about it, but there's nothing mind-blowing being done here. Except for maybe that last frame in which he creates a seamless loop, because that's also the first shot, which is genius. That was insane, dude. You inspired me with so many shots. I'm gonna try a couple of them in my own content coming up soon. On to the next one.
More inspiration and less ideas. This is the Art of Creative Direction, Episode 2, Brainstorming Ideas. I've hit the idea wall far too many times to count, but this one hack always gets my mind running again. When I'm in a rut, I don't take a break, scroll, or go for a walk. I break the script and I make something terrible. Because once the pressure of being perfect is gone, your creativity will be free again. So, next time you're stuck, take it easy on yourself. Your best ideas are only a few bad ones away.
So fucking sick. I am very inspired. So, this one is surprisingly easy to do. So we have, let's say 4 different squares. In essence, you could make these in Canva. You place them in a circle on Canva. You drag that into here onto your mouse click layer, right? Then what you do is you put a crop line here so that it feels like it's coming out of the table. And you have to make sure to put an opacity line here behind the mouse, or you rotoscope your hand out so that that's on front. You can also do it that way, whatever you like. And then the crop line here. And then you basically create a rotation on your circle that you've created, with it ending at the key picture that you want it to end at, which is obviously this one. And then you just need to make sure you have a high resolution version of it so that when you zoom it in, you transition to this absolutely insane next shot. Okay, my guess is that he uploaded this into some sort of AI tool, let's say ChatGPT, Runway, whatever, uploaded this entire image, and then something along the lines of a prompt that says, make a outline of a red skeleton of this body. Got that, and then the part which makes this sick somehow is having a crop on this so that it's like at this diagonal effect. Layering in rather than, and it also feels a little like this is coming out of the screen from looking at the phone. Genius.
This is the art of creative direction.
I also love the play with the fonts here. Like,
Direction.
just, yeah, it's so well done.
Episode 2, brainstorming ideas. I have the
Now this
idea wall far too many times.
this was my favorite. So how do you do this? First you need a rig in which the camera is stuck to you so that we're gonna have a fixed shot. You're gonna lock the exposure and the focus, right? So the key is to have it fixed on you, and we're not gonna remove this camera. We're gonna set ourselves in different settings. This is what's going to show the back of your phone in your face consistently. We've got a few different We've got a few different shots there. Let's see, from where does it start? Yeah, so here, different place, different place, different place, right? So we get the idea. Then we need a screened version of your, or screen recording of your notes with this being typed out. Now you could decide to do this in Canva. You could also make it in a white notes and then put this to screen. Then you're gonna have to turn the opacity down on the box and the notes. This is basically added in on top stylistically.
Times to count, but this one hack always gets my mind running.
I love the like underlying texture on these boxes. They're so good. They give this like coding effect.
When I'm in a rut, I don't take a break, scroll, or go for a...
So this is just a blending mode whereby the alpha layer has been selected. Hope I'm not wrong on that. Let me know if you guys would do this differently.
I break the script and I make something terrible because...
That's also an underrated trick, storytelling trick, using text in the shot. So like make something terrible was fantastically thought out as a means to tell the story rather than more subtitles, which would be consistently the same. I personally would have removed the subtitles because it's excessive, but that's me.
Because once the pressure of being perfect is gone, your creativity will be free again. So, next time you're stuck...
Okay, so this I think is probably shot on a blue background and the clouds are added in afterwards. I'm not sure where he found it. I could imagine you could just look for clouds green screen.
So, next time you're stuck, take it easy on yourself. Your best ideas are only a few bad ones away.
And then seamless transitions. These seamless transitions are popping off. Gotta move on and do the last one. Let's go.
The most asked question I get as a creator is, where do I find inspiration? How do I keep finding new visuals and also somehow execute them all without regularly burning out? I've tried keeping it a secret, but the answer is simple. My secret is every time I feel like the world is starting to melt, time is moving weirdly, or just for the thrill sometimes, all I need to do is calm down and slip out of reality.
So disgustingly good. So these are obviously responses to Q&As that he's probably screenshotted, then used basic 3D mode to place them all around the room. The shot itself is already naturally coming in, so this is not a zoomed in shot, this is someone walking in with the shot. That helps to really sell the 3D effect. This is important to sell this transition. So if he just like stopped here, sneezed, and then kind of goes to the next shot, this wouldn't work nearly as hard, but because he keeps the zoom going and has that same motion, also in terms of like where the sneeze is coming from, your eyes are already there. It's the details that sell this. So fucking good. Well done, man.
Creator is where do I find
I genuinely have zero fucking clue how he did the mouth effect.
inspiration?
I love the text here. The text is probably just added in and then put on exclusion. That's how you get the lines coming through, or difference will also do it. So this needs to be a colored font. And then this font, yeah, it's just phenomenal, man.
How do I keep finding new visuals? And
This is also relatively simple to do. It's obviously a super close-up of your face, and then you just, yeah, have an opacity on your eye with a slight feather to make it a pretty soft transition. And then the shot that you have underneath or behind it is going to be some sort of TV static shot, and that's how you create this, man.
And also somehow execute them all.
Again here, this is similar to the first shot that I was talking about. The motion that he's using is continuously the same, and so this is what really sells the effect, right? So it goes from here through in the same motion to the next shot, through in the same motion to the next shot, and then he decides to switch, and now we're going in a different way again. It kind of prepares your eyes consistently for where you're supposed to look as we're going through the video. It's the difference between making something feel fantastic and making it feel jumpy. It's this motion element.
Burning out. I've tried keeping it a secret, but the answer is simple. My secret is every time I feel
This is genuinely so good it's illegal.
like the world is
like phenomenal. In essence, the two different videos, right, layered on top of each other. The point at which they cut off is here, right? That is, so this is the bottom video, this is then the top video. Both times taking the same motion, but in the top video, he then looks as if he falls when his legs are left behind. Simple, but so good it's illegal.
starting to melt, time is moving weirdly, or just for the thrill sometimes. All I need to do is calm down and slip out of reality.
Yeah. I love that this show is back. It's the highlight of my week. You guys are a fucking inspiration, and I'm so glad I'm back to doing this with such regularity. Shout out to the creators. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, do consider subscribing, liking, leave me a comment on whatever video I should respond to next. And with that being said, I'll see ya in the next one.